Woodrow Wilson was America's 28th president, remembered for leading the United States into the First World War and being a bit of a racist. But what isn't so well known is his illness, the cover-up of that illness and the impact it's had on the US Constitution. In 1918, after addressing a crowd in Colorado, President Wilson suffered what turned out to be a massive stroke, which was then hidden from the American public for the rest of his term in office. Now, in those days before radio or TV, the extent of Wilson's infirmity wasn't hard to hide. He was paralysed down his left side, unable to walk, sign his name, or even feed himself. Although the White House convinced a distinguished surgeon, Dr. Hugh Young, to issue a rather different assessment.
The extreme vigor and lucidity of his mental processes had not abated in the slightest degree. He is in better shape than before the illness.
Wilson's personal physician, Cary Grayson, was central to the medical cover-up that followed. He was summoned to a meeting of the Cabinet by the Secretary of State, Robert Lansing, who raised the prospect of Vice President Thomas Marshall taking over. Marshall said he could only assume the presidency if Grayson and First Lady Edith Wilson declared Woodrow Wilson unfit and Congress passed a resolution. But Grayson denied the president was seriously incapacitated. Edith Wilson said she feared if he resigns, the greatest incentive to recover is gone. So instead, she demanded Secretary of State Lansing resign for calling the cabinet meeting, which she did. Some historians now believe that Edith Wilson effectively became de facto president during her husband's final year and a half in office, when she communicated on his behalf, although she denied she was anything but a wife, carer and gatekeeper. It would be almost 50 years before the 25th Amendment tried to address the problem of what to do if a president is similarly unfit to serve but unwilling to resign. It now takes the Vice President and the majority of Cabinet or Congress to declare the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, whereupon the Vice President shall immediately assume the powers and duties of the office as acting President. Some have since argued Joe Biden's memory lapses should have seen him removed from the presidency last year. Others have suggested Donald Trump's illegal attempts to overturn the 2020 election warranted his removal under the 25th Amendment. Neither, of course, actually happened.